All right. Welcome, everyone, to a very special Chicago Corner. What is going on? My name is Kit Cabello, the host of Heartlands Media, and today I'm filling in for Jerry because he's not here, but we do wish him all the best. We are wishing him all the best for, the film festival that he is in Nevada. I believe it's in Las Vegas. If I got it wrong, I do apologize, but I believe it's in Las Vegas, and we wish Jerry and his team all the best. Bring home the gold, Jerry. Bring home the gold. And if you can't bring it home, steal it. Go ahead and steal it, Chicago style. So we do wish Jerry all the best. And Jerry will be back next week. So everyone, please be safe over the weekend. And there's a lot happening here at Chicago Corner. And actually joining me as a special guest co-host is actually one of our moderators for Heartlands Media and Chicago Corner. And also who's doing a lot of extra work for us on the side here. Just give it up for Edward Heller, also known as E. Heller as well. Welcome, Edward.
Hey, everybody. I have to limit my screen time because it makes the internet implode.
Well, nonetheless, we do have him here, so he'll be able to chime in. And plus, there's a very important link that he will be sharing with us later on the story when it comes down to this eviction crisis situation that it's impacting the rest of the country. And of course, Chicago being a major metropolitan city, we're dealing with a lot of issues as well, such as homelessness, evictions, small businesses being shut down. So if you weren't following us or watching us on Heartlands Media, please check out that channel after the show. We were talking about the homelessness situation in LA and also how people are at risk of losing all of their homes or being kicked out of their homes. Again, it's going to impact Chicago as well. So, hey, lawmakers, why don't you help us out, make our lives easier? But first, let's talk about, give a shout out to everyone that's joining us. I'm seeing Miguel H. giving us a peace sign. I'm seeing Reef Breland here also in the live stream chat. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We are building up Chicago Corner. Let's try and get us up past 1,000 subscribers because there's a lot that we're doing, a lot that we want to do on this channel and really make it grow and become successful. So be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe because every time we grow this channel up, it's another channel to help out our 99 Perspective studio. And what we want to do here with Chicago Corner is cover Chicago stories, Chicago news, Chicago events, so that this becomes the go-to source for news and information here in our wonderful city, the city of Chicago. But I think I've been talking long enough, stalling long enough. Let's get started with the first segment of our show. And this is something that we've talked about even on Heartlands Media, the idea of getting a elected school board here in the city of Chicago. So again, this has been an uphill fight to try and get this. So Chicago is getting an elected school board as Governor J.B. Pritzker signs a bill that Mayor Lightfoot had fought. So let's talk about what's going on. Again, this is a source from the Chicago Block Club. Fantastic news source here in the city. And it's something that, again, really is useful to the people who want to get informed about what's happening here in Chicago. So Chicago is officially getting an elected school board, a major blow to Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a bill that's okay as the change Thursday, his office announced. The Chicago Public Schools first will go through a transition phase where it will be overseen by a mixed elected and appointed school board with all the members to be elected by 2027. So we're still playing the waiting game here in the city of Chicago. For those of you who don't know, this has been a very important subject for a lot of people who live in the city of Chicago because a lot of these Chicago board members have been appointed by previous mayoral administrations. They've never been elected into office. And let's face it, Chicago has a long, sad history of being the most corrupt city in the United States. Add in Washington, D.C., we're number 2 then. So yes. So, and I think if you follow along with the long sad history of our city council and our mayors, the school board, well, they've never really been on point. Continuing on, an elected school board will help students and their families have a strong voice in important decisions about the education system in Chicago, Governor Pritzker said in a news release. The governor saying the bill wasn't a surprise as he previously voiced his support for the measure, but it still marks a major defeat for our wonderful Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who had vehemently opposed the change despite saying she wanted an elected school board during her campaign. And plus, when we covered a lot of the mayoral debates here in the city of Chicago in 2019, that's something that universally most of the mayoral candidates were in agreement for. including Mayor Lightfoot. The bill expands the school board size to 21 members. An election will be held in November of 2024 for 10 members of the board, with the mayor appointing another 10 and the board's president for a two-year term. All members of the board will have to run for election in 2026, meaning the board will all be elected by 2027. So, again, knowing Chicago politics, those 10 appointed school board members will have infrastructure, or is it at come from strong political bases here in the city of Chicago where they can actually successfully run again or try and get reelected. Now, Mayor Lightfoot fought the efforts to get the bill passed. This June, she said the bill lacked the guardrails on the amount of money people could spend campaigning for a seat on the board and would prevent undocumented parents from serving. She said the city would negotiate with the state over those issues. It's not a defeat for me. It's absolutely not a defeat for me, Lightfoot said. Then this is about making sure that our children and our parents have a real seat at the table, and that any change in governance is superior to what we have now. The Chicago Teachers Union, which has locked heads repeatedly with Mayor Lightfoot, praised the change in a tweet Thursday. Students, families, and educators will now have a voice they have long been denied for a quarter of a century by failed mayoral control of our schools, the Teachers Union wrote, and Chicago will finally have an elected board accountable to the people our schools serve, as it should be. So looking at this is a major win for all the people that have fought viciously hard so that we can have elected school board. Now, this is a compromise. So again, by 2027, they'll all be elected. So, when I was talking to E. Heller about this, and as we were going over the show notes, we're still playing the waiting game. We're still going to have to deal with our current system. And here's hoping that by 2023, if Mayor Lightfoot chooses not to run again, there might be a mayor that will be more on board with this change that Governor J.B. Pritzker has let happen. So there's a lot of criticism I have about Governor J.B. Pritzker. By no means is he a saint. There's a lot of questionable policies that he has passed. But in these rare occasions where especially he was leading the charge for, or he's signing the bill for cannabis legalization, as well as, again, fighting for a few other issues. I'd say this is a good policy change by Governor J.B. Pritzker, but again, seeing how this will impact the 2023 city election, especially for the office of mayor, I'm very curious to see how many of the mayoral candidates, if there are any, if Mayor Lightfoot chooses to run again, it just might be her, how many of them will be on board for this elected school board. E. Heller, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, just briefly, I just thought it was kind of funny how Lightfoot insists that, this is not a defeat for me. This is not a defeat for me. And then Governor Pritzker just sneaks this signing in at the end of the week and doesn't even make an announcement or a press conference or anything about it. So it's clearly one of these things where, she's dealing with the Lollapalooza, which we have a story coming up with later. And he probably just didn't want to stomp on all of that going on I guess you could say maybe it's kind of a slight at her for him to be signing this bill because she had been against the bill. And then keeps telling everybody she's for it.
I'm glad you brought that up, especially the earlier part where this isn't a defeat for me. This isn't a defeat for me. We've covered on this show and on Heartlands Media, and not only that, the Chicago media as a whole has talked about how Mayor Lightfoot has been thin-skinned about criticism, and she's been very vocal about anyone that's been critical of her, and she's always been really aggressive in saying, well, no, it's not this, and no, I'm not being smeared, and no, you're wrong about this. The way she's acting, it's like everything that's been happening under administration, things have gotten a lot worse since she's gotten into office. And I will say this, I had a lot of high hopes for her compared to Tony Prettwinkle, but even now, the Lightfoot administration has not followed through with any of its real campaign promises. And again, I remember covering the 2019 mayoral race during the primaries, and then when it was finally down to Prettwinkle and Lightfoot was saying she was on board for elected school board. What was the change? And this is something about these politicians, especially Chicago politicians. They like to lie, and they like to never follow through with their promises. So this will impact. I think this will play a role in that will definitely hit the Lightfoot campaign if she chooses to run again in 2023. It will probably again be used against her by her political opponents. And frankly, you know what? I don't want there to be a large squad of 16 or 18 mayoral candidates, but I do want there to be at least a choice so that we don't have to re-elect Mayor Lightfoot, because under her administration, again, she never followed through with her promises. And one of the things that she was on board for was an elected school board. So I'm glad that the CTU got this. I'm glad that the parents and the children of the city of Chicago finally got this. It's long overdue. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. And finally, maybe our schools will no longer be neglected, especially we have people who want to be in the job and are not appointed by their fantastic mayor, whoever they are. All right. With that being said, we are going to move on now to our next segment. Before we do, I want to acknowledge everyone in the live stream chat. We got Miguel H. We got Reef Breland. We've got, .com. Thank you so much. Now we're 11 watching and only 10 likes. So someone is holding out. Who's holding out and hitting that like button? Also, shout out to Reef Breland. Like and subscribe. Hit that ring bell notification. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Now we're going to talk about something else. And again, this is a crisis. Housing crisis in the richest country in the world, and Chicago. Before we actually get focused on the article, can we get the camera on me real quick? Look, I've talked about this on Hard Lens Media, and I'm going to bring it up here on Chicago Corner as well. Driving to the studio, I love working here. I love doing this show. I love being on Chicago Corner. I love being on Hard Lens Media. I love doing the work that we do here at 99 Perspectives. But again, it's getting worse outside. I'm seeing a lot of small businesses being shut down or closing early because they can't afford to stay open. I'm seeing people being evicted. I'm seeing these tent cities underneath the bridges, in the parks, these Bidenvilles, which is what they are. I'm seeing, again, communities being set up, these tent communities, these Bidenvilles happening all over the city of Chicago, north, south side, west side. It's a thing. It's something that's happening. And in the richest country in the world, and a city like Chicago, this shouldn't happen. Housing should be affordable. Owning an apartment or living in an apartment should be affordable. You shouldn't be at risk of losing your small business. But yet it's happening. So let's talk about what's going on. Illinois' eviction ban is ending. Here's how renters in need can get free legal help. So Illinois' eviction ban ends soon. So the city is reminding renters of how they can get help if they face losing their home. We have the TIF funds that can help out communities. This is just something that the mayor can do, but obviously she's choosing not to. Eviction filings will be allowed come Sunday, and people can start getting evicted after August 31st. Governor J.B. Pritzker announced in mid-July. Also, if you're a renter and you live in the city of Chicago, or you know anyone that lives in the city of Chicago, know your rights. Your landlord cannot kick you out of your apartment unless there is a sheriff there. Understand your rights. You cannot be kicked out by the landlord alone. So people, just remember, know your rights. Know your rights as a renter. The city is still processing applications from people who applied for emergency rental assistance program this spring, according to a Friday mayor's office news release. People in immediate need can get free legal help and mediation from the Cook County Legal Aid for Housing and Debt. Call this number. Again, if you live in the city of Chicago or you know anyone that's struggling right now in the city of Chicago, call 855-956-5763 or go online to learn more. Renters can also get free legal and mitigation assistance through the Lawyers Committee for Better Housing. Call 312-347-7600. Go online and text HI to 866-773-6837 to use the group's free confidential hotline. More resources for avoiding eviction are available online. And then, again, related, thousands of Chicagoans could face evictions next month. This group is going door to door to make sure people, again, keep in their homes. So, look, this is a story that is really impacting a lot of people here in the city of Chicago. E. Heller, you also had a link to. Can we pull that up so we could show our viewers, especially those who are from Chicago or know anyone from Chicago, where they can get that help? Can you pull that up? All right, let's get that ready. All right, and there we go. We got a few members of our audience also typing in the comment section below about where they can get help. So this is it right here. E. Heller, can you just explain a little bit about this? This is the Illinois Housing Development Authority, the 2021 Homeowner Assistance Fund. Can you explain this a little bit more? I know you recently added this in the comments.
I had been talking with Jerry about this the last time we were talking about people trying to get rental assistance, and I brought up the fact that there's a lot of people who are paying mortgages, aren't paying rent, and they're struggling right now too. We're still trying to figure out what the federal government or the states are going to be doing about that kind of thing. They seem to be very resistant to giving anybody any kind of payment assistance so that they can pay their bills. Everything we've seen so far has been deferrals. Those, what do they call them? Where they have the where you basically say, oh well, you don't have to pay until we decide that you have to pay, and then you have to pay it all at once. But now we've got this thing from the Illinois Housing Development Authority, and they're at ihda.org/HAF, and there should be a link in the show notes for this. They are working on something. We don't know what exactly it's going to be, but they're calling it the Homeowner Assistance Fund. It says the program will offer up to $25,000 in assistance to approved applicants. But the application, if we scroll down, says that they're expected to be available in the fall of 2021. So we can't even apply for this relief yet. So we have to just keep checking this website and keep checking back to see if more information becomes available.
Agreed. So look, times are going to start getting a little tough. It's quite clear that the Biden administration and a lot of our lawmakers are just walking along, thinking that this is okay. They're thinking that this is fine. Everything that's happening right now is excusable. But they don't understand that this is a danger, that a lot of people are going to be put out on the streets, that a lot of people, how are our communities supposed to thrive? How are families supposed to thrive? How's anyone supposed to survive in an environment where, again, our lawmakers are saying that it's okay to be evicting people at the height of a pandemic? Again, coronavirus didn't go away. It's still here. And now there's a lot of talk about this Delta variant. Gee, I wonder what's going to cause an increase of people getting this virus, having them somewhere safe to go so they're safe inside, or kicking them out of their apartments and homes and then making this pandemic far, far worse. And again, you would think our city council and our wonderful mayor and even our governor and our Illinois State Senate and House would take the initiative of saying, first, we got to take care of our people. Because how can a city, how can a town, how can any community survive if its people are out on the streets? If people don't have jobs, if people aren't being paid anything, if there's no Medicare for all, if there's no universal basic income, then our people are going to suffer. Now, other countries have figured this out. And here in Chicago, again, Chicago's not broke. We have the resources to take care of our communities. We actually do have the resources to build our schools up. We do have the resources to actually do a universal basic income program. But Mayor Lightfoot is choosing a different path. Our governor, again, hey, here's what I'm going to be critical of him. You would think he'd go to bat for the people, especially here in Chicago, a major metropolitan city in the state of Illinois. You would think he'd go to bat a little bit harder and saying, no, wait, we can't evict everyone because let's face it, while it's nice outside here in the city, spring and summer, wonderful times, fall, give or take, but our winters are brutal, especially late fall, all throughout winter. It's going to hurt people. People are going to suffer. And if our city is going to really do this, there's going to be senior citizens that are going to be exposed to the elements and to this virus. Working class families, people of middle age, teenagers, young people, men, women. Everyone's going to be impacted by this horrible situation. It has to stop. So if you need to check out our show notes, they're in the description box below. And we urge everyone that if you know someone that lives in Chicago and they're at risk of being evicted from their homes, send them this information too. We need to share this far and wide, because if we don't start speaking out now, if we don't try and help each other out now, this problem will get worse. Our lawmakers are turning a blind eye, just just at the federal level, same thing here at the city level. Now, there are some good city council members here and there, but there's not enough of them. 2023 is going to be our next election. And if this is acceptable for Mayor Lightfoot, she could do her, I don't know, her Lollapalooza, which is so important to her. If she can do that, I'm very certain that her and our governor and our city council and our state lawmakers can somehow figure out to make sure that the people of Chicago, the whole people of the state of Illinois, are not evicted from their apartments and homes. This is how you make this pandemic worse, if you kick them out. And there's going to be a lot of people that need help. A lot of people lost their jobs. And yet you hear from corporate media that people need to get back to work, that everything's back to normal. There is no normal. This is going to be a whole change in how everything's going to be working now in this world. And I want my city to survive. I love this city. Chicago is filled with good people. And the good people of this city need to have leaders that give a damn. And if Mayor Lightfoot chooses to run again in 2023, here's some more political ammunition that could be used against her, as she once again is, not really kind of going bad for the renters. How can the people survive if our leaders let us down? We can never forget who's allowing this to happen and who's not fighting for us. Mayor Lightfoot, what are you doing? Mayor Lightfoot, aren't you supposed to defend us? City Council, where are you at? It shouldn't get to this point where, oh no, more stress for the people that live in this city. We got enough problems as it is. An eviction crisis shouldn't be added onto the fire as well. These tent cities, they're growing. You see them all the time here in this city. I see them here all the time. And those people are good people. They didn't wake up one day and decide to live underneath a bridge or live in a park. It's because it's become so expensive in this city. Our lawmakers said that it's okay, that gentrification is running amok, and that communities and people that have been living in their communities for generations are being displaced. We've covered this on Hardlands Media, and we've covered this here in Chicago Corner. This is a problem. And I'm actually going to take a quote from Gamer for Life. Lightfoot, before she got elected, talked a good game. I'm sure of it. And you're right, Gamer for Life, she did. All of these lawmakers have before they got elected into office. But I know Lightfoot, she did talk a good game. That's how she was able to win her primary, or at least become one of the final two in the primary race to go up against Pratt-Winkle. And when it came down to it between Lightfoot and Pratt-Winkle, Lightfoot had a stronger campaign, a stronger message. I thought that she was really going to bring in change, and I felt like this was the right leader at the time. I was wrong. Part of the Democratic machine here in Chicago. It's a corrupt machine, and knowing how Lightfoot can't take criticism, she's going to try and deflect as soon as people are being put on the streets. So again, to everyone that's watching, if you know anyone that lives in the city of Chicago, if you know anyone that needs help, again, go to our show notes in the description box below. You'll see the link to this article. Please share it, because people do need help. And let's try and make that happen. E. Heller, do you have any other comments to add in here real quick?
If my mic is working. Yeah, I think you pretty much covered it. We're really hoping that some of our representatives would step up and actually help us out here. It just kind of feels like a lot of them don't have a sense of urgency or don't understand that if they don't support us, it's really hard for us to support the economy.
Yeah, and we're a consumer-based economy as well. We all know this. That's the whole idea of America. It's a consumer-based economy. If the people can't consume, if the people can't participate, how's the economy supposed to thrive unless they just want to slave a labor force, make people and punish them for being poor? That's the system we're in. We've regressed backwards as a country. And this city, just to anyone who's renting here in the city of Chicago, know your rights, and you cannot be evicted by your landlord alone. The sheriff needs to be there. And to the sheriff's department, do you really want to go through this? How many families are going to kick out of apartments? It's going to get bad. It's going to get ugly. And our lawmakers, they can't think of anything else but, when it comes down to protecting the rich, they will. They know how to bail them out. And whatever, man. Well said. Can't Chicago institute an eviction moratorium at the municipal level? The answer is yes. Actually, the city, there's a lot of things that Chicago can do. We've got 12 people here in this audience. That's more than enough to help spread the word. Read the book written by Tom Tresher called Chicago's Not Broke. You'll learn about the TIF funds. It's not even a big book at all. It's called Chicago's Not Broke. Tom Tresher, Tom, last name Tresser. Chicago's Not Broke. Again, it's just a book this thick. Hold on, let me just a book this thick. There you go. Please check it out. Gamer for Life, whatever, man. Miguel H. The answer is yes. Just the thing is, our mayor's choosing not to. But she has resources for a police academy. She has resources to raise the bridges. You know, so whatever, man. You're on point. The answer is yes. They could, but they're not.
Another thing you can do is at least get your representatives or contact the CDC directly, because the CDC can act on its own to extend the eviction moratorium. They were the ones that enabled it in the first place, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Madness and stupidity. It's just dumb to be kicking people out right now. It's not worth the risk. And this is how you're going to get more dead people. And one last thing before we do move on to our next segment. There's this wonderful place, event center called the McCormick Place. Now, we all remember during the lockdown, things were really getting scary. Remember 2020? Ooh, scary year. That place was being considered as a emergency makeshift center. The McCormick Place, if you ever get a chance, go ahead and Google it. It's a big event space. It looks like that whole option of maybe it becoming an emergency hospital could happen again. Because this is how you make the virus worse. By exposing people, leaving them out there in the streets in an environment that's not safe, that's not clean. There we go. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on now to our next segment. And I'm really excited to talk about this one. The federal government's jumped into McKinley Park asphalt plant. And again, how it's dealing with a lot of air pollution. So what's going on here? So I want to rewind back the clocks. And this has to deal with the MAT Asphalt plant. In 2018, the MAT Asphalt plant was built in the city of Chicago, or at least in the Southside neighborhood by McKinley Park. McKinley Park is a 63-acre green space. There's homes, apartments. Now there's condos being built there as well. There's 2 schools there, a community center with an open pool. It's a wonderful neighborhood. But in 2018, this place was built, and no one in the city of Chicago, Cook County, or state of Illinois informed the residents of the construction of this asphalt plant. And the thing about asphalt plants is they release particulate matter that impacts the heart, lungs, and brains. It impacts senior citizens and young people the most. And there's been a continuous truck traffic going in and out of the MAT Asphalt plant, and this place is still operating without a permit. There's been nothing said by the Chicago EPA or the Illinois EPA. And so now, finally, the federal government's getting involved. It's long overdue. And Hardlands Media, we've done continuous coverage of this. We've covered numerous town halls. There's audio and video coverage of it. We've interviewed some of the heroic activists and community organizers. We've interviewed candidates that are running for office that want to replace the current alderman. We've also even covered a few protests that are happening by the MAT Asphalt plant. Again, a lot of activist groups, environmentalist groups have been speaking out about this place and how it was built on the south side of Chicago. And again, no one in this community by McKinley Park was informed about its construction. No one told them. No one at the city level, county level, or state. And it's wrong. So what's going on? At the request of Illinois' 2 United States senators, federal officials are turning up the heat on a controversial asphalt plant in McKinley Park. It's long overdue. What took you so long? The United States Environmental Protection Agency said it's working to make sure the state sets strict rules within an operating permit for the MAT Asphalt plant operation on Pershing Road across from McKinley Park, according to a letter sent to Senator Dick Durbin from an EPA official in Chicago last week. The letter from acting EPA Regional Administration Chair L. Newton also notes that the Latino majority of McKinley Park is a community with environmental justice concerns, a reference to the burden of the cumulative pollution in a low-income community of color. Under President Joe Biden, The Environmental Protection Agency is stressing the need to reduce pollution in environmental justice communities. In May, Mayor Lori Lightfoot halted the permit process for the relocation of General Iron, a car shredding operation that's suing the city, to the city's east side at the request of Biden's top environmental chief, an action that the community organizers have been pleading with the mayor to do for many months. The EPA is working closely with the state agency to ensure that this facility's operating permit includes all applicable requirements that the public concerns, including concerns about health impact, which is real, and environmental justice, are adequately evaluated and addressed, Newton wrote in her July 20 letter to Durbin. The MAT Asphalt plant has been operating under a state-issued construction permit since 2017, but will eventually need to obtain a full operating permit process that has been slowed in part due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So technically, it's operating without a permit. So there we go. So, and mind you, by the way, there's a community garden by McKinley Park. And Governor J.B. Pritzker, actually during his 2018 campaign run during the primary, actually did a photo op by that community park before the asphalt plant was built. Hey, JB, here's where I'm going to be critical of him. Where you at? You talked about having a strong Illinois EPA. Mayor Lightfoot, you talked about having a strong Chicago EPA. Where are you at? This asphalt plant was built and no one in the community knew about its construction. No one told them. There was no town hall meeting. There was nothing done. Where are you at? Where are you at? It's not right. But see, the thing is, this is just scratching the surface, what's happening on the south side of Chicago and the west side of Chicago. So to my fellow Northsiders who live in the city of Chicago, what impacts us will also impact you. This is not right. All of Chicago should be enraged about this. Imagine if this happened to your community. Imagine if this happened to where you live. Would you want to have a park near an asphalt plant? No. Your home or apartment. And now there's condos being built there too. Really nice looking condos being built there. It's kind of interesting now that this is happening, but okay. I'm pretty sure the developers who are building those condos are kind of looking at that asphalt plant like, that thing's kind of an eyesore. And mind you, this asphalt plant is also next to two schools. Two schools. Would you like it if the school where your kid went to, all of a sudden an asphalt plant was built there and there's ongoing truck traffic going back and forth? I'm sure a lot of us wouldn't like it. Continuing on, Durbin and Senator Tammy Duckworth and Representative Jesus Chuy Garcia and Representative Marie Newman, all Democrats, sent a letter to Biden's Environmental Protection Administrator, Michael Regan, in late June, asking the agency to help provide oversight over the asphalt plant, including operating rigorous health impact analysis and air monitoring. They note more than 100 odor complaints to the city from residents in the past 3 years. There's more complaints than that. Michael Tadden Jr., a city contractor and co-owner of the asphalt facility, has said the odor complaints are exaggerated and touts that he provides an essential service as an asphalt producer. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't like it if someone built an asphalt plant in his community and not telling him, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of people upset about that. I'm sure there will be. The legislators noted that the plant is directly adjacent to two schools, like I've said before, and is across from the park in an area that was already overburdened by pollution. EPA data has shown McKinley Park, also home to a large Asian population, ranks high for the amount of cumulative air pollution and health risks. The cumulative pollution burden damages the health of residents and impacts their ability to safely recreate and enjoy their homes and community spaces, the lawmakers wrote in June 21st letter. The operation of additional industrial facilities in this neighborhood, such as the MAT Asphalt plant, places further stress on this overburdened community. In her letter to Durbin, Newton said the EPA conducted an inspection at the MAT Asphalt plant in 2019 and asked state officials to conduct air emission tests based on the concerns of the EPA staff found. Those tests were supposed to be completed last year, but the Pritzker administration postponed them, citing the pandemic. The testing took place this week. Governor J.B. Pritzker, come on. Get on it faster. Get on this faster. This is not right. What we're seeing here is not right at all. Tadden said he welcomes the EPA testing requirements. The agency asked us to do testing, and we obliged. City Hall's mixed messages. Here's where our wonderful mayor and our city council come in. City Hall has been split on the MAT Asphalt plant. While city planners have lauded the plant's central location for providing asphalt, the top advisor, Lightfoot Housing Commissioner Marissa Nova, held up a plan last year to put low-income housing next to the asphalt maker, which is also close to schools and the neighborhood's namesake park. In May, the city council approved a housing project which founded alternative funding. Separately, federal housing officials are investigating a civil rights complaint related to the southeast side car shredder fight. Again, these condos that are being built there, kind of interesting now. Now, the thing is, we've talked about this on Hardlands Media before, and now even here in Chicago Corner, where gentrification, there's a lot of weird schemes on how it's done to displace a community. One thing is build a industrial facility there, and eventually the people will move out, or start buying up land and gentrifying it, renovating it, making it look nicer. Now, this asphalt plant was built there. No one in the community was informed about it. But now they're building these wonderful condos. And let's face it, I'm going to speak for myself. If I was in charge of these condos being built there, I would be raising a stink about that asphalt plant. Because how can you sell such a nice condo space when there's an asphalt plant? It's quite interesting that this is happening. Now, this asphalt plant should have been shut down sooner. In fact, it shouldn't have been constructed in the first place. The people that have been living in McKinley Park for generations should have the final say about what's happening there. So Navarra also made public last year that the city was exploring whether MAT Asphalt plant could be moved. No, let me take out could. Should be moved. Late last year, a consultant for MAT Asphalt plant provided the city with a plan to move just hundreds of feet at a cost of almost $32 million, according to a report obtained through the state's open records law. City planners determined there is no public funding available to help pay the costs identified, a city spokesman said. Staff also determined that there are no known alternative locations where the plant could lawfully operate in the city without generating similar community concerns. Again, this is a problem.
I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This asphalt plant was built in this community, and no one in the community was told about it. There was no letter campaign. There was no phone call campaign. And we have our coverage of the town halls. I'll be more than happy to share with our audience. Well, I have the links. We have the coverage. They're there. They exist. We have their audio only, but I assure you, you want to hear it because the people are angry, and rightfully so. 2018, I'm pretty sure our audience, let's actually have democracy in the chat. Type 1 if you would be angry if this happened in your neighborhood. Type 2 if you think, oh, it's fine, just build whatever you want in my neighborhood. Don't involve me. Let's have democracy. We got 12 people in this chat. So yeah, that's it for the rest of this article. I do hope our federal lawmakers are successful in getting the asphalt plant removed. I do hope that this doesn't happen to any other community, but this is a problem on the south side and west side of Chicago. It's madness and stupidity. It's disgusting. So you heard me rant and rave about this a few times, E. Heller. What are your thoughts, buddy?
I think it's incredible that it's taken them this long to even get their radar on the environmental problems that are going on. You guys have been covering this for what, 3 years now?
Since it first happened, we've interviewed activists. We've covered town halls. Now, our town hall coverages are audio only. There's a few Facebook live streams that we've covered as well. You have to go to the Heartlands Media Facebook pages when we were getting started. But I have all the YouTube links, and I think I shared it with you and Jerry as well. But we interviewed the activists. We've interviewed the community organizers. We covered protests. We covered town halls. I mean, this is something that's pretty freaking disgusting. And it's similar in all the neighborhoods on the south side and west side of Chicago. And these are predominantly African-American, Latino, Asian communities in the city of Chicago. And I think our fellow Northsiders should be upset about this too, because again, all this pollution also impacts the north side as well. This is a problem. No city we should be looking at different alternatives besides an asphalt plant to be, making our roads. Our infrastructure is crumbling apart. Now's the time for real innovation with true renewable green technology. We have the intelligence to do so. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue on, buddy.
No, that's fine. I actually prefer when you're speaking more than I am, because I'll get off on a tangent and people will get angry at me and my family. But yeah, we definitely need to look for alternatives. I don't know how soon asphalt as a road pavement or as a construction material is going to be replaced widely. But the least the cities could do is look for locations where it doesn't impact the environment of the people in the city.
Yeah. So, and there's something else too. I want to bring this up because James Rood, you actually said that's in the live stream chat as well. You said, is there lead in his water? You're talking something else about South Bend, Indiana. My apologies, because I was going to say, yeah, there's lead in Chicago's drinking water as well. And there's numerous other chemicals too. In 2017, Daniel and I, we did a short documentary about the industrial pollution that's happening in Indiana, and it's the same story here in Chicago as well. And it's disgusting. And so we need to look at alternatives, and it's long overdue. And I'm glad our federal authorities are. Look, I'm critical of the Democratic and Republican lawmakers. We're not sponsored by Malort. But you know what? Malort's probably safer than the lead in Chicago's drinking water, or maybe it's reverse. I don't know. It's your decision. I've tried Malort, and it's all right. So there we go. What else we have here? So I think that's all I can really say about the MAT Asphalt plant. To our viewing audience, if you're ever interested in seeing some of our coverage, I'll be more than happy to share it with all of you. And this has been an ongoing fight. So I rarely say this about our Democratic lawmakers. Senator Durbin, Senator Duckworth, Representative Shuey Garcia, Representative Marie Newman. Please get rid of this MAT Asphalt plant. Please step up, use your power, get rid of it. It's not right. I'm pretty sure all of you would be upset if somebody did this to your community. But this is not only impacting, again, this neighborhood. There's a lot of communities on the south side and on the west side of Chicago that are dealing with the same situation, or even something far, far worse. We all deserve clean air. We all deserve clean water. We all deserve a clean, safe community. We all deserve to have our green spaces safe for everyone to enjoy. Again, McKinley Park, it's a big green space. It's a historic park. And there's homes and apartments, small businesses, 2 schools, a community center with an open pool, and now condos being built there as well. It's a nice neighborhood. Truly it is. But an asphalt plant that was built there, and no one... See, the thing is, if they reached out to the community, if they said, hey, this is being built here, like your input, I don't know, maybe the conversation would be different. I'm pretty sure a lot of people say the same thing. No, we don't want you here. But again, it was built and no one said anything to the community about it. It's not right. All right. With that being said, we're going to move on to our final story. And I just want to Jerry and E. Heller talked about this last week. I talked about this with Jose on Tuesday. Lollapalooza is happening here in Chicago. Now, look. I get it. I understand that people want to return things back to normal. People can live their lives to the fullest. Whatever. I'm all for that. Go ahead. Live your best life as much as you can. We're only here for a short amount of time. So let's live our lives to the fullest. However, we're still dealing with this damn pandemic and things. Who knows what's going to happen with this Delta variant? All I can say is if you're not going to get vaccinated, wash your hands, wear a mask. If you are vaccinated, still wear a mask, wash your hands. Please be safe, social distance, think of others. And that's all I could say. So there is Lollapalooza happening, and there are concerns now that as the numbers are rising up of people who are infected with the Delta variant, that it could get bad here in the city of Chicago, and that there could be maybe another lockdown. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I don't want to see that happen. Good luck in trying to enforce a lockdown, especially after how our government abandoned all of us. But we have this video segment from the local ABC news affiliate, E. Heller. Let's mute our mics and let's play this video in its full entirety, please.
Okay, yeah. Just so you know, this is Liz Nakey, who is famous for reporting from Whiting, Indiana's New Year's Eve pierogi drop in 2019.
Ah, I see. Very interesting.
Cheryl, it's okay. Just a few minutes ago, you saw that massive wall of people just making their way out of Grant Park as night one here at Lollapalooza wrapped up. Tonight, Lollapalooza says 90% of people who walked through the gates for day one showed proof of vaccination. Just about 600 people did not have any paperwork, so were not allowed in. All of this is wrapping up day one. Miley Cyrus took the stage tonight. You can hear some of the crowds passing by us now, still making their way out of here. And some people say the city is taking a huge risk in allowing this to go on at all.
Chicago's signature summer music festival is center stage in the city once again. The music is just like returning fans remember and everything most first-timers imagined.
I've never been. This is the first time I've ever been. This was honestly the coolest festival I've ever been to.
There are now more than bag checks and security and wristband scans.
Vaccination cards out, wristbands up.
Every ticket holder must show their vaccination cards or a negative COVID-19 test.
I think if you choose not to get the vaccine or anything, then you should be able to go in with a mask.
Unvaccinated patrons must still wear a mask, and pop-up testing sites around the perimeter are turning around rapid results in a matter of minutes.
In about maybe 1 hour yesterday, we did over 25 people. In about 6 hours today, we've done over a couple hundred.
We're fighter fairies fully vaccinated. Oh my! So we're ready. We're not playing games.
It's kind of insane that some people are coming when they're not vaccinated, but your body, your choice, I guess.
The city hoped this would be a safe celebration in a waning pandemic, but case numbers in Chicago are creeping up.
I think like any big crowd is risky still during the pandemic times and with the new variant out there.
For unvaccinated fans showing up at Lollapalooza who have to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test, if you have a 4-day pass, that means you will have to be tested at least twice before the end of the festival.
Hey, if you like that video,
Okay, let's go ahead and pause that video because I don't want to hear them about subscribing.
Channel.
There you go. All right. Well, all right. So, anyways, yeah. I don't know how I feel about this Lollapalooza event. I mean, I get it. I don't know why the mayor made it her number one priority, but okay. I mean, the ink's already dry. It's over. We all say, well, things should have been done differently. Remember, throughout all 2020, everyone throughout corporate media and our political leaders at the city level, state level, federal level, we're all saying this virus is very dangerous. With this new variation, who knows how dangerous it will be? Who knows how high the numbers will rise? But I feel like it's a risk that shouldn't have been taken, but it's already over. We could say, well, what if, and we could all what if as much as we want. Here's the real fact. Lollapalooza is happening. It's already over. It's going to continue
We're 2 nights down already.
Saturday and Sunday too. I mean, it's just going to continue on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead. What were you going to say, E. Heller?
It's okay. Like you were saying, it's too late. We're 2 nights in already. And the damage is done. We have people who showed up, and it sounds like a majority of them are vaccinated. So at the very least, they, if they do catch the Delta variant, and it's unlikely that they're going to die from it, but they are now a carrier. And that, that's one thing that a lot of people are still not getting through their heads. You wear the mask so that in case you are a carrier, you don't infect other people. You're not wearing it for your own personal protection. You might get a little protection from that, but there's a giant football field distance between a standard cloth mask and one of those N95s that you see people wearing for PPE.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take some words from .com right there and say, in my best Monty Python voice, and I'll probably butcher it, but I'll read it. This is a happy occasion. It's no time to bicker and argue over who killed who. I mean, it's already over. 2 nights in. Plus, again, there's going to be Saturday and Sunday. And we all know that the turnout will be large for both those things. I feel that it was a risk not worth to take. Mayor Lightfoot, she greenlit this, so it's already over. So to anyone, just be safe. Just be safe. At this point, it really doesn't. Just be safe. That's all. It doesn't matter. Just be safe. And
have common courtesy.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, that's all we could say. Words. That's all we have here. Words. And I hope that the numbers don't increase. I hope. And if that doesn't happen, okay, we got lucky. A lot of people seem to be vaccinated. Maybe we dodged a bullet. But I think at this point, with an event like Lollapalooza and everything else that's starting to be reopening across the city, good luck in trying to tell people to go back to being locked inside. They're not going to do it. They just won't do it. If our government's going to abandon us, I mean, people can't afford to stay locked in. And plus, with no assurances, no confidence from our media or from our political leaders, who would want to stay locked in? I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience wouldn't want to be locked in again either. It's just be safe out there, and we will somehow get out of this nightmare that is COVID-19. Any other? Wait, we do have another story. It's kind of a sad story, but you mentioned it in the show notes, or at least before we went live. We lost somebody. We lost the voice in the microphone, the radio. What happened to him? What happened?
Okay. Is my microphone not working? Oh, it's on. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't want to have my camera going with the microphone because we know what happens, like the internet breaks. So, yeah. Anthony Rizzo from the Chicago Cubs, it's a sad day, was traded to the New York Yankees. And to, just to make the worst timeline even more worse, it's not just Rizzo. Chris Bryant was traded to the Giants. Javi Baez went to the New York Mets. There really isn't enough Malort in the world right now for all those poor Cub fans who pretty much lost a good core portion of the 2016 World Series team. And so I take off my hat to all of you, and I wish us luck going forward, where it probably will now take us another 100 years to win another series.
Don't say that. Come on, look, I'm not a fan. I'm not the fan of our North Side Cubs. Don't give up, buddy. Come on, the Cubs are the lovable losers. You guys always got to do it. Don't worry, and not to mention, you still got our wonderful Chicago White Sox that we all can cheer for. You still got the Chicago White Sox to root for. Our fellow Southsiders, my team. That's my team. We're still doing good. We're still in this. But let me just say this right now, because I remember when I said this on top of the roof of Saddam Hussein's palace, 2005. White Sox were going to win the World Series. Before I'm 40, there's going to be a red line series. Chicago White Sox, which will be the victors, and Chicago Cubs for the World Series. The North and South side. It'll be a fight. We'll see it happen. We're not sponsored by Malort, by the way. We are not sponsored by Malort. But it will happen. Before we're old men. Before I'm 40, it's going to happen. It'll be the greatest. And right. Exactly right, Christian Gomez. Go White Sox. You could still root for the White Sox. Come on, my fellow Northsiders. You know it's the right thing to do.
Actually, I root for all Chicago teams.
Hold on. Your mic sound came in a little bit echoey right there.
I root for all Chicago teams, but at a certain point in your life, you are forced to choose a side.
You have to choose a side.
It's where I chose to be a Cub fan, but growing up, I was a fan of both the Cubs and the Sox, and the Blackhawks and the Bears, and every other Chicago team that I was aware of at the time. And now we got soccer teams. We got what do we got? Flag football somewhere? I don't know.
Well, hold on. We got So we got. I know for arena football, it's Chicago Rush.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously NFL, Chicago Bears. We got the soccer, also known as football. Chicago Fire, of course. Hockey, we got the Chicago Blackhawks. Basketball, Chicago Bulls. Oh, I remember the 90s. Man, when Jordan and the team won the World, won the NBA. I was about to say World Series. Screwed that up. When they won the NBA championship, this city went nuts. We, of course, have, I believe, also another hockey team, the Chicago Wolves. They're a different, I forget what.
We got women's soccer too. It's Chicago Red Stars.
There we go. Oh, wait, we also, what's our women NBA team?
Is it the Sky?
Yeah, I think Chicago Sky. There we go, Chicago Sky. And of course, hey, wait, we got baseball. We've got the great, the incredible, the outstanding, the wonderful, the stupendous, the legendary, the strong, the epic, the Titanic Chicago White Sox. And when we have the Cubs.
And also there are Cubs.
And also there are Cubs. Yes, there are the Cubs. There are the Cubs. Yes, there are the Cubs. So yeah, it's but the thing is, to our audience, especially for those of you who don't live in the city, you have to choose a side. I mean, you could try and postpone it for as much as you want. And I've seen some controversial jerseys where someone has both the Sox and Cubs logo. You have to choose a side. It's like the War of the Roses. It's either you're a York or a Lancaster. You got your Sox or Cubs. Yeah, we got there first. Yeah, and there were people saying that the next star in the Chicago flag should be the Chicago 2016 World Series. Well, all right, if you're gonna do that, 2005 Chicago White Sox, and we deserve a star. We got there first.
That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, I was so happy when we won, but I missed it because I was out of state. But someday, I'll see my wonderful Sox, Chicago White Sox, make it to the World Series again. I hope and pray. There we go. All right, so I think we've had a great show. This Friday show has been awesome. Jerry will be back. Shout out to Jerry Vasalatos, who's been doing a fantastic job. Shout out to E. Heller, and also shout out to Casey. All three of them did a fantastic job with editing, recording, getting all the pictures and video of the Chicago March for Medicare for All. Shout out to all the organizers for Chicago March for Medicare for All. Shout out to my good friend Daniel Lupker and Kira, who was also there. And I did a pretty good job emceeing as well. So we, this team is doing fantastic work. Chicago Corner is growing. Let's try and get past 1,000 subscribers so that this channel can contribute more to 99 Perspectives, so that we can actually do more on the ground reporting, covering Chicago politics, Chicago news, Chicago events. This channel has potential, and we want to see this happen because we want to share with all of you the incredible story here in the city of Chicago, not just the corporate narrative, because we all know what Fox News and CNN and MSNBC will do. They'll only cover the negative aspects about Chicago. But I believe that this city is filled with good people, and it's time for them to get their stories out. And finally, again, Jerry, good luck with getting that in that film festival. We want you to win. Bring home the gold. And if you can't bring home the gold, steal it Chicago style. No, don't steal it. But we want you. We're wishing all the best to Jerry for the film festival that he's at in Nevada, I believe Las Vegas. So good luck, buddy. We miss you, and Jerry will be back hosting Chicago Corner next week. E. Heller, you got any final words?
Yep. Good luck, Jerry, in Las Vegas. I really miss being in Las Vegas and losing all of my money when I go there. If you did not get a chance to sign the petition from the March for Medicare for All to petition the government for Medicare for All, you can go to m4all.org. That's M, the number 4, M, the number 4, ALL.org, and you can sign that petition, and they will be taking signatures, I think, through the 6th of August.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and make this happen. Will there be another March for Medicare for All? I hope so sooner and not in a year, but I hope within the next few months. But the thing is, we have to continue this fight for Medicare for All, especially here in the city of Chicago, too. We were not the organizers. We were asked to be MCs at the Chicago event. So the organizers will be the ones making that decision. I do hope that we are able to, do another event like this soon. So all the best, and everyone have a safe weekend. Please be safe out there. My name is Kit Cabello. I'm the host of Hard Lens Media and special guest co-host here for Chicago Corner. Shout out to E. Heller for manning the board and also bringing up the show notes and articles for all of you to check out as well. Peace, everyone, and let us all do what we can to build a better future. Oh, please get that out. End the live stream. No more Chicago Cubs. End the live stream. End it. End it. Go Sox. End it. No one wants to see those Chicago Cubs World Series. End it. End the broadcast. End the broadcast. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.